Hi everyone, welcome to our review of the new 2024 Bauer Supreme Shadow equipment. Before I start, I just want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the guys at Puckstop for letting us borrow their demo set so that we can make this video, talk to you about the new equipment, but also film some great on ice footage as well. We actually did our filming yesterday on ice, had a great deal of fun like filming with the Shadow gear, and that's being edited at the moment. I can't wait to bring that to you in the next couple of weeks. But for now, just a huge thank you to the guys at Puckstop. We're extremely lucky to have the opportunity to have this equipment to talk to you all about it, and it wouldn't be possible without the guys at Puckstop. So a huge thank you there. So for the purpose of this video, we'll be breaking it down into two parts. So part one, looking at the leg pads, and part two, we'll be talking about the blocker and catcher. So with that being said, let's crack on with the leg pads. So you can see here we've got the all-white demo set here, which have been kindly marked up by the couple of the national team guys already who have tried these out before we managed to get our hands on them. So I'd recommend getting onto the Bauer customizer and having a play around with the color zones. You can design some great looking color schemes on these leg pads. So I'd recommend going and having a play, put these into your team colors and see what you can come up with. Or if you really want to sort of spoil yourself, give Alex Birch and the guys at the Goalie Lab a shout and get them to design a full set of custom graphics for you. If you're going to get a new set of Bauer pads, you might as well spoil yourself and get a custom graphic as well, bitch. But whichever way you go, you'll get a fantastic looking set of pads here. So for 2024, Bauer have made some subtle changes to their Supreme pads in comparison to the Max from a couple of years ago. So we're just going to break down some of those for you now. The first thing I noticed is that the shadows are ever so slightly heavier than the Max from a couple of years ago, which I was a bit surprised at, but it happens. It happens with other manufacturers as well, and it's usually for a very good reason. Normally, it's a case of they've just reinforced some of the materials inside the core of the leg pad there, which, I'd have to speak to Bauer to find out exactly what they've done. But the Max, I don't think really needed it. They didn't need any reinforcements, but whatever they've done on here, they've not made them any worse. The weight difference is negligible. You barely notice it when you've got the leg pad on. So I've not got a problem with it. The main change Bauer have made, they've got their Flex 3 profile, which is a softer overall flex compared to the Max. So if you watch my video back from a couple of years ago where I was reviewing the Max, you'll see that I said they were incredibly stiff. Like from the boot upwards, you could barely move them at all. So these have got a bit more of a flex to them. Still not massively. They're not a hyperlight. They're not a flexible leg pad. But there is a bit more bend to them. They feel a little bit more like the Ultrasonics than they do the Max. If I was going to compare them to the last two Bauer ranges, I'd say they've got a bit more of the ultrasonic flex profile in the top half there. We've still got the curve comp in the top half here, so the thigh rise has still got a big chunk of composite in it. So you're not going to get a flimsy sort of 5-hole sort of thigh rise area there. The pucks aren't going to squeak through. That's still very, very solid. But you have just got a little bit more of a flex throughout the whole core. Still got the below knee break there. You've just got a little bit more mobility in the leg pad there, which I'm personally a fan of. If I was going to choose the ultrasonic build over the Mach build, I would go ultrasonic just because it's got that little bit more movement, especially with my old hips. It just allows you to close the butterfly a bit more easy and have a bit more movement in the leg pad. So as we move down, we've still got the stabler slide there. That's remained unchanged, which is good because it's absolutely perfect. It doesn't need any change whatsoever. So it's just a very, very solid, stable knee block, which keeps the leg pad nice and stable and sealed along the ice there when you're in the butterfly. So as we move down, the updates that Bauer have made to the calf plate and the pillow, we've got more of an ergonomic shape to the calf plate here. So on the Max, you just had a flat bit there, or just one bend towards the end there. You've now got 3 parts to it, so it's more of an ergonomic sort of shape to there. What that does is just to help promote ice seal and a bit more stability throughout the calf area there. So it's a very, very subtle change, but it's effective. It feels great on the ice. And as we move into the calf pillow itself, Bauer updated this on the Mac a couple of years ago, like an updated calf pillow there, but it's very boxy, very sort of two-dimensional. Whereas here we've got much more of an ergonomic curve to the calf pillow there. What that does is promotes a lot more forward pitch. It pushes the leg towards the front of the leg pad, forces the weight over, rather than allowing the leg to slip off, which can create some under rotation and have pucks slip underneath this part of the leg pad there. So it's just very, very curved there. Allows you to sort of sit your leg comfortably in there for a lot more stability in the butterfly. So I thought it was absolutely brilliant. It's really, really comfortable. It didn't need any adjusting whatsoever. My leg just fit perfectly in there. Felt right at home straight away. So things that they've kept the same. We've got the Tune Fit Plus system, which, if you go all the way back to my muck video from a couple of years ago, I think is absolutely fantastic. It's super adjustable, but I barely needed to adjust anything at all. I put these straight on. I just needed to adjust one bit of Velcro there, and they fit absolutely perfect straight away. So really, really easy to dial these into exactly what's comfortable for you. So the only other update is Bauer have just updated their toe tie system a little bit here. So we've got this new sort of bungee system there. The bungees themselves aren't new, but we've got this new sort of Y-shaped bit at the front there, which just allows it to sit in the front of the skate a lot better. And then this adjustable sort of grommet on the top there, so that you can, just have a much more comfortable toe tie setup there. So personally, I'm a bit confused at this because this isn't my set. I couldn't mess around too much and remove it because I didn't want to break anything that couldn't be replaced. But to me, this doesn't look like it comes out easily, which is my only concern. It looks like it needs to be cut out. I might be wrong. I need to check with Bauer. But I would like an option on here, which means that it can be a bit more easily removable for people that, either want to adjust it or want to put their own setup in. I think it'd be a shame to have to cut this out to have to do that. So a bit more information needed from Bauer to me on that. But felt great. It kept the leg pad where it's supposed to be on the foot. And I like this sort of Y-shaped thing at the front. I think it's a lot better than what their previous setup was, with just the two bungees hanging down, which can, given the stretchy nature of the bungee, can actually cause it to sit up on top of the foot a bit much. So that's fixed that, but I need a bit more information on the thinking behind this sort of Y bit at the top there, and why it's stitched in and why it isn't easily removed. So overall, they're great leg pads. I said the same about the Max a couple of years ago. They felt great. This is, in my opinion, a slight improvement on the Max. I'm a big fan of these. I would choose these over the Max. So Bauer have done a great job. So please stay tuned for part 2, where we'll be looking in more detail on the blocker and the catcher.